Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review, and this one is slightly different because I wasn't planning on drinking this beer ever, really. Although it's a brewery that I quite like, and it's a bit, well, I'll show you what it is, and then you can work it out. So this is from Titanic Brewery, which are up in Manchester, I believe. And this is called their Iceberg beer, 4.1% beer. And look at that, it's got literally a Titanic. It looks like it might be hitting an iceberg at the way it's on its side. But the reason I got this beer is because they knocked 50p off. So £1.50. Yeah, the Titanic Brewery are legends in their own lunchtime. Let me see. It's a bit watery because I've had it in the fridge. Can't see. Let's see if we can get it a bit zoomed in. Can you guys read that? Maybe not. Come on, zoom in. Zoom in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, not too bad. Tasting notes: citrus aromas, linger, clean cut pale ale, lots of grapefruit. It says pale ale, citrus zesty, floral, quite bitter, quite dry. Whoops, what's some other stuff there? There we go. Marisota, pearl, and wheat malt, Hercules, and Cascade. And no doubt, Hercules is used in the bittering, and Cascade is Cascade could be it's a dual hop, so it could be in the bittering, but no doubt this is used for the flavouring. And Cascade has kind of gone out of fashion in terms of Citra. Cascade used to be basically everywhere, and Citra has fast taken over, and Cascade has kind of dropped down the league tables of hops a tiny bit. And even Titanic Brewery on the cap, which I love to see. There we go. Can you see that? That's absolutely fantastic. If I ever have a brewery, I'm going to have to come up with some logoing and do things like taps and caps, even neck chiefs and all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool. Titanic, of course, make the plum porter, which is kind of where I know them from, and that has got to be one of my favourite beers at the moment. You can get it in the local kind of. There's a couple of local pubs where you can get it regularly. It's not there all the time, but that is a fantastic beer. And I tried their cherry version, wasn't as good, didn't like that one so much. So I'll be interested to see how one of their pale ales comes in. And when it's 25% off, especially in these times, my goodness, it's definitely worth it. So like I say, this has been in the fridge overnight, chilling out. Wow, am I going to get? Probably not going to get the full thing in there for a change. Wow, and this is a 490, I believe, this glass size. Oh, it's a 500. No problem. I should have known it wasn't all going to fit. Never mind. Look at that, lovely clear. It's a bit hazed up, but that's purely because it's been in the fridge. There you go. You can see my my ugly mug through there. Head-wise, it's not really a northern head. It's a fingernail at the most. Fast disappearing head. Lovely colour though. Oh, lovely peach, grass, that kind of stuff. This reminds me. This reminds me of back in the day. Loving these ones. Cascade always kind of reminds me a little bit of East Kent Goldings, and I think that's why I love EKG so much, because yeah, it reminds me of that time, even though East Kent Goldings is far older than Cascade is. Oh, lovely beer. What was it? 4 point something. So it's not gonna 4.1. So this is definitely a sessionable beer, although I think Iceberg, it's not an IPA. I think they've just called it a pale ale, which is exactly how things should be. Loving it. Ooh, yeah, quite a good deal of hot bitterness. I wasn't expecting it to be that bitter, to be honest. And no doubt that's from Hercules hops. Um, and there's a bit of residual kind of grassiness, sort of skunkiness, grass clippings, hedgerow. But in the background, there is that lovely kind of cascade thing going on. Wow, this is a little bit like a kind of, dare I say, one of those old school English. Wow, it's really well carved. My God, English IPA styles. It's not an IPA. This is just a pale ale. But 20, 25, 30 years ago, these kinds of beers were doing the rounds. Definitely, um, yeah, with that kind of grassy kind of pale ale thing going on. This is definitely a more modern version, a lot more bitterness. I'd be quite interested to see what the IBUs are, and I wonder why it's on offer. Maybe because people just don't like that quite bitter pale ale anymore, which is really weird because that's how they all used to be. When IBUs were king. So for a 4.1% beer, this is quite bitter. Um, it is quite dry. It's almost lager-like in its kind of bitterness. It's quite sharp, but it does have that kind of sharp bitterness. Um, Weirdly, because it's got wheat malt in it, it says it's absolutely crystal clear. Ooh, can you see my eye? Said the spider to the fly. Oh, I should probably, while I've still got, let me force a little bit of head and like try and get that in. Something like that. Make your picture nice. Hopefully that will be good. Like to get these photo opportunities correct. Or I could I could just sort of do that and say it's reduced, damn you. Let me see, is that from, I'm pretty sure, I think they've covered it up, haven't they, where Titanic's from, but I'm pretty sure it's a Manchester brewery. Yeah, this from midweek cheeky beer, £1.50. Okay, you've got options in the supermarkets where they do the deals, don't they? Sometimes 4 bottles for £6 or whatever. Used to be 4 for a fiver. Nowadays, 4 for £6, and in some places, 4 for £7, which isn't such a good deal. But you can buy a 4-pack of cans if you want to. This time of year, my go-to beers are Hobgoblin. The only thing, if you buy in cans, it's a different strength. It tastes like a different beer to the one you get in the bottles. And I have had Hobgobbler through the pump as well, through the tap in the cask. Fucking lovely stuff. Is this going to replace a pint um, of the plum porter? No, because that is an absolutely fantastic, legendary beer for me anyway. Absolutely brilliant. And a couple of the old boys that I used to work with, well, they're not that old, and I'm getting old as well. My old chums, let's say, they really like the plum porter as well. So, yeah, Stephen and Greg, if you're listening, try one of these if you can find it. This is the iceberg. It does taste a bit like an iceberg. It's really crisp, really clean. It's just the bitterness is a little bit too aggressive for my modern palate. As I say, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, this would be bang on point. This is exactly what you would be getting in a lot of places. In fact, some places this would be a cloudy beer because they wouldn't have worked out how to clear those type of beers properly yet. I have now. If you are feeling a bit kind of sentimental, like some of us are sometimes, why not search one of these out, see if you can get it on offer. In fact, any beer on offer is worth it, in my opinion. Especially when the beer I had when was it I had on Sunday? That was a fiver for one can. It was 10%, and this one's only 4%, but a fiver for one can of beer. Absolutely crazy. I'm not gonna neck this because of the bitterness is so like extreme. So I'm gonna enjoy this. You guys go off and enjoy what you're doing on this lovely weeknight, and yeah, we'll see you real soon for some more. I've got some other bargains coming up. Wink, wink, wink. Don't know why. Maybe it's that time of year when there's some bargain beers. But when I say bargain, I mean like 50p off, like this one. That's not really a bargain. But I will be back. If you haven't done so already, please join the Jonna Nation. Click like, click subscribe, flick the bell icon down below. You know what you do to keep the YouTube gods appeased, and yeah, you'll never miss out on one of my uploads. I do try and upload every day though, so if you're not sure, go and check out the yeah, you'll probably miss something, put it that way. Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Don't know, but you'll definitely have missed it. Anyway, guys, this has been Uncle Jonah. Cheers and beers. We'll see you in the next one.